Hey, I want to share a few words with you. I have some friends who've lost some things. I've lost some things. Today, in fact, I lost something really big. I'm not going to share that with you. It's kind of private. But I lost something, and it reminded me of this series of messages that I've been doing. It started last Sunday about loss. And there is a lady named Dr. Mary Lamea. She said this is a quotation from her. She said, "Anger will allow you to continue idealizing what could have been while consciously denigrating it. Disappointment accepts reality." And so what's being said here is there are two ways to respond. You can either accept it, or you can not accept it when you have a loss. And of course, we go through the grieving processes, and anger and acceptance are part of those five. But ultimately, where we land is we either deny the loss, stay angry in the loss, or we accept the loss. And that doesn't mean we get happy about it. It means, as one writer said in a book about pastoral counseling, crisis counseling, he said, a loss, and specifically talking about the loss of a loved one, can leave a chasm, and it leaves a chasm for everybody. But some people learn to build a bridge over it. The chasm doesn't go away, but we learn to live with the chasm there. And that's how some people end up. They land on acceptance. They accept the fact that it was a loss, whatever that loss is. And others are so angry they can't get over it. Now, here's the thing, though. We determine whether the loss is minimized or multiplied by our response to a loss. And so what I'm basically saying there is that our response to loss determines the ultimate cost. It's either going to be minimized or multiplied, depending on how we respond. For example, people who have been in a marriage and somebody committed adultery, and they had children, and they had good careers and all that, and maybe the person who committed adultery was willing to make things work, to go get counseling and to say, "I'm sorry," and be genuinely sorry, and the other person just couldn't accept it. And they ultimately, what happens is their anger got so much of them, they landed in that anger, that they end up losing their whole family. And sometimes they lose their career, sometimes they lose their mind. Other people we know that have the same kind of situation, and they come to a place of healing. It's always there. Maybe they still hurt, but they've learned to overcome it and forgive each other and love each other. And even though they had that loss, they minimize it. We all have to deal with this, and we all have to come to a place where we make the decision as to whether, when we have a loss, any kind of loss of a job, loss of a career, loss of school opportunities, maybe we aren't going to be able to get that education that we wanted, loss of money, loss of a marriage, loss of any kind of relationship, whatever that loss may be, a child, to maybe the death of a child, which would be horrendous, or the death of somebody else that's very important to us. We determine by our response to loss whether it's multiplied or minimized. The response to loss, our response to loss, determines the ultimate cost. God bless you.